Welcome back to Newswatch, and I'm your host, Matthew Giavoni. It's Christmas Day for baseball fans, as today marks opening day for the MLB season. The New York Mets were the highlights of the offseason, signing superstar outfielder Juan Soto to a 15-year, $765 million contract. But for the Mets, what will the rest of the roster look like on opening day? Justin Antonucci is in more.
Matt, it is indeed Christmas Day, and the Mets are hoping to deliver a gift to their fans by beating the former cheater, Houston Astros. They start at 4:07, and taking the mound for the New York Mets as we get into the rotation outlook for the season will be Clay Holmes, the reliever turned starter on the Yankees, now on the Mets. He'll take the bump. Game 2, it's going to be Tyler McGill. Then Game 3, it'll be Griffin Canning, who they acquired from the Angels this offseason. He pitched himself into a rotation spot because of a couple injuries, but earned it nevertheless. Pitching on day 4 will be David Peterson, and number 5 will be probably the Mets' best pitcher, but because of his arm and he's not ramped up that much, Kodai Senga will be pitching on day 5. And Matt, the two notable names missing from this rotation are Frankie Montas and Sean Manaea. Both got hurt in spring training. As we know, Manaea signed a 3-year deal in the offseason to come back to New York. That's all for the rotation. In the bullpen, there was only one real surprising name to the roster, and it's Max Kranick, a guy who hasn't even pitched in a couple years, but he looked amazing in the spring. A sub-2 ERA, 15 strikeouts in 12 1/3 innings. That's all on the pitching side of things, and the only real battle in terms of hitting was who was going to start at second base. With McNeil on the IL, it was either going to be Brett Baty or Luis Angel Acuna, two former top prospects. We'll start with Brett Baty, who was a third baseman, got some looks at second base last year in AAA, and he showed up this spring, which he does quite often. Hit .353 with an 1186 OPS and ran into 4 bombs with 11 RBIs. As for Luis Angel Acuna, he struggled a little bit more, only hit .250 with a 575 OPS, but last year when he got called up, he hit .308 with a 966 OPS. So that might have raised some questions for Mets fans. And then we read an article that with Anthony DiComo and Francisco Lindor that said, quote, from Lindor, "I think he plays bored in spring training," which caused a lot of controversy. Is Luis Angel Acuna trying? Does he even deserve the job? Will he start in AAA? Well, we finally found out yesterday he made the opening day roster, and he will actually start at second base today. Matt, it's going to be a platoon role. Baty is going to hit against righties, and Acuna is going against lefties.
Now, Justin, the Mets have a whirlwind of injuries heading into this season. Where are some of those guys right now in their rehab?
Yeah, Matt, let's start with the rotation with Sean Manaea. He's dealing with an oblique injury. He just started throwing again. We'll see him back hopefully by the end of April, early May. That's the same exact timeline that Francisco Alvarez has with his broken hand. Sources tell me that he just got his stitches out. He should start batting practice in a week or two and then just ramp him up until the hand is healthy. But for Frankie Montas, the bigger concern, dealing with a lat injury, my sources say that he hasn't even started a throwing program yet. We probably won't see him until June 1st. But the Mets, they're used to dealing with injuries. They're focused on beating the Houston Astros today, right here in Houston. Reporting from Houston, Texas, and Dankin Park, I'm Justin Antonucci.
Thanks, Justin. When we come back, Pete Yohan's run over while cycling. We'll have more on that story after the break.